My next guest is a fascinating woman, Adela Rogers St. John's. For many years, she was a star reporter for Hearst newspapers. She's written several best-selling books, the latest being Some Are Born Great, which is a fascinating look into the lives of some of the extraordinary women of our times. Would you welcome warmly, please, Adela Rogers St. John. And a Happy New Year. I assume you've met the rest of our...
Hello, how are you? Glad to see you.
You're a woman alone tonight. All men except for you here.
I like that.
Yeah. You like that, huh?
Yes.
Fascinating
Yeah,
book.
I've been playing football all afternoon, so this has been quite a day.
Are you a football fan? Did you watch the games today?
I went.
You went to the game?
Sure.
Oh. Did you bet on them?
Now, you're not supposed to ask me
Well,
that.
that's not illegal, actually. You know?
Isn't it?
No.
Oh, I thought it was.
I think it's illegal to make a bet with a bookie, isn't? But I think if you bet among friends, that's considered a
But
sporting
they don't stay
wager.
friends long if you bet them.
Not if you win, either.
It's better
Yeah.
not.
Hey, did you register any? It's fascinating. You have a list of, I guess, what you consider the Hall of Fame of women, and you talk about a lot of great women. Was there any particular reason? Is it because of women's liberation?
Well, I got a little tired, to tell you the truth, of what was known as woman's lib, talking as though all women, up to the time they arrived, had spent their lives under rocks, or under somebody's heel.
Right.
Well, I never had any discrimination, and I knew a lot of very great women.
Right.
And I thought it was a shame for them to give that idea. And I didn't see them doing anything very remarkable.
You've never been discriminated against because you
Never.
were...
Of course not. Just the other way. You know that.
Well, I know, but you're extremely talented and very perceptive lady, too.
Ladies and girls and women get in lots of places where men don't. And while we didn't put on fake eyelashes, we knew more what to do with the ones we had than they do now.
Got a point there.
So we just, I have never been willing, Johnny, to come down and be equal with men.
You don't believe in that equality.
And would you, do you think women I don't think so.
You said come down. And
Yeah, I'm not going to come down and be equal with men. God made man. And he looked at him and he said, I can do better than that, and made a woman.
You're turning on us, right?
No, I'm not. I like men much better.
Well, Ashley Montague, the world-famous anthropologist, has written the book, The Natural Superiority of Women, and says women, in practically every thing that they do, are superior. Physically, intellectually, emotionally stronger, more perceptive.
Far, because I've got an awful lot of men friends.
Oh, so you're copping out now, huh?
No, but I do think that women, I wish we could get over any of this differences and hostilities. I was with some women from Women's Lib the other day, and they bark.
Well, a lot of them are dogs, that's why. I have a feeling my house is going to be firebombed tonight, but
As a straight man,
couldn't reason. You're a great straight woman. Or as they say now, a straight person. They don't say men or women. That's got no labels.
So silly.
Now, Amelia Earhart went on a solo flight and disappeared in 1940, 39.
In there, my memory for dates is dreadful.
Yeah, and she was lost, and then later the tales came out that she had been captured by the Japanese during the war, was held, or she was on a secret mission for the United States. The whole thing is shrouded. And as I mentioned earlier, a couple of years ago, somebody said that she was living. Now, how did you meet her, and what do you know about her?
Well, I knew her for a great many years, and we were very good friends. You see, she picked up aviation when Lindbergh dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
She came on and became the great woman flyer, and she did all the flights to Mexico, and I covered her as a reporter. I went down, saw her off, and you realize that of all women, perhaps Amelia changed fashion. Isn't this odd to think that a girl of her type, but she changed fashion more than any other woman, Chanel or any of the great Katharine Hepburns or anybody, because up to the time that Amelia did it, women didn't wear pants. They just plain didn't. And she said, I can't climb up and down around these airplanes all the time in skirts. Just no way I can do it. And put on slacks and boots and sweater and scarf.
Right.
And that became our national woman's costume. And she did that. I, of course, think I know exactly what happened to her. And I have tried to tell it in here, but it's a thing that came out of what, as a reporter, we used to call our stomachs. You felt it in your tummy, you know,
right.
or you had a feeling you knew where Patricia Hearst was because your stomach did something. And they don't have stomachs anymore, apparently. But we used to. And I felt that I knew certain things about Amelia and certain things she said and did before she went. So I've always thought I knew what happened and where she was and all about it.
What do you think happened? Well, not tipping the whole book. What do you know?
Well, actually, and I've tried to tell the story as lovingly and as completely as I knew how in the book. She went, I saw her off, as I had done on most of her flights, and she went and got in, and then she came back and walked all the way across and held out her hands and took both of mine and held them very tightly and said, don't worry about me. Well, now you know Amelia's not going to say, don't worry about me. She's just going to fly an airplane.
Right.
I mean, she'd flown airplanes to Mexico and across the Atlantic and across the continent, and I'd seen her off on all of them.
So this was your
And she'd always said,
stomach
hi,
response.
see you when I get back, you know. Let's have lunch Thursday. I mean, that kind of thing. And to say, don't worry about me, then I knew she had spent the 2 days before at the White House with President Roosevelt, and I knew that he was pressing at that time, as we found out later, to know when certain things were going to happen. So I just put it together and figured for sure that Amelia went to find out how far along our enemies were with the ships that were going to attack Pearl Harbor. That's what I think, and I've tried to. Now pilots tell me that her plane was not geared for this. But knowing my Amelia, she would have geared it and then covered it up.
Yeah, in other words,
You know,
it could
if
have
you were
been.
going on that kind of a flight.
It could have been a subterfuge.
Yes.
Even pleasure to see you again, and I hope you come back with us.
Thank you. Always glad to see you.
The book is called Some Are Born Great. It's most interesting. I think you really enjoy this book, and next time we'll follow up on some of the other ladies in your life.
Oh, I'd love that.
I hope you have a very happy New Year.
And the same to you,
And Victor?
to all of us, to the whole world.
Yes.
We need
Healthy
it.
and happy. Victor, you're headed for Dade College in Florida?
Dade College, University of Wisconsin, Boise College, Boise State, and quiet burial at sea.